Now, to keep in mind, I don't know for sure if Candace Owens was canned or if Boring, the owner, and Ben Shapiro got together and got rid of her, or is they separated on good terms. But she is out of the Daily Wire. Let's just go ahead and go to her tweet. She said that she is finally free. So I'm guessing either she is saving face and got fired, or she mutually separated. But she's not going to keep her YouTube channel because she is moving on to her personal channel now, as you can imagine. But let's go ahead and talk about why Candace Owens is anti-Semitic, because there's a lot of ammo and a lot of, well, material to really work with. Let's check out this Emma Vigilant. I believe her last name is pronounced. This is just a meme. Ben Shapiro, when Candace Owens defend Kanye loving Hitler and says the real problem was with Hitler was that he wanted to globalize, versus Ben Shapiro when Candace Owens says Israel is doing a genocide. Now, these are two separate things that Candace Owens has done in the past. She said the reason why Hitler was extremely bad was because he wanted to globalize and wanted to make Germany great outside of Germany. Now, of course, when in terms of Hitler, when he wanted to make Germany great again, it included killing a bunch of Jewish people. It included targeting a bunch of people from the LGBTQ community, burning books, a bunch of horrible activities. But for some reason, Candace Owens was like, oh, yeah, the problem was he wanted to reach outside of Germany. Come on. Give me a break here. But let's go ahead and go to some clips, because I'll let it speak for itself, and then I'll commentate on it. But it's about a minute long.
Every single political commentator in America, every single one of them knows this, that if you do not step out and say things that are radically pro-Israel, or if you are too quiet on certain narratives and they want you to be radically pro-Israel, you can lose everything. That's truth. That is a fact. I'm not feeling like I need to hide from that anymore, because, or be afraid to say it, rather, is a better way to say it, because I've endured this for years. I'm just at the end of my rope. I have given so much rope here, and I am just done with it. Every person that you are a fan of, they know this. Every person that you line up to go here speak, they know this. Again, it's not even on the basis of what you say. It can sometimes be on the basis of what you don't say. That an entire mob will assemble. They'll write piece after piece after piece until you subjugate.
Now, let's go ahead and talk about Israel in terms of their political influence in America. Now, there's two parts of this, and this is really how you can tell if somebody is anti-Semitic or not. Because is it true that in America, there's a PAC called, I believe it's called AIPAC, which is a far-right political lobbyist group that donates tons of money to politicians? That is true. But it is not on the basis that they are Jewish. They are a right-wing organization, a lobbying group in Israel that donates money to get what they want out of politicians. They donate money to Democrats. They donate money to Republicans. And they've also promised to donate tons of money to defeat progressive Democrats, because they have called out the Netanyahu government in terms of them committing war crimes in Gaza. But this is how you can tell somebody if they're anti-Semitic or not, because they won't talk about AIPAC in terms like that. They'll talk about how there's this Jewish cabal that, well, or they just happen to be Jewish, that runs the Hollywood. They run DC. They have their hands in all of these entertainers, and they're running some sacred pedophile ring. And they go into all of these conspiracies. Now, what I said about AIPAC and what Candace Owens, what I'm going to show you about Candace Owens, are completely two different things. So don't get that twisted at all. But let's go ahead and go to these next couple of clips with Candice Owens, because it is wild. Let's go ahead and just make this case some more. Now, this is Candace Owens, well, her former YouTube channel. I don't think she'll be uploading here anytime soon, but she's talking about the Diddy lawsuit, which is absolutely crazy. I think you should read it. It's pretty interesting. A lot of crazy stuff was going down. But she's also talking about Michael Jackson and how, you know what? I'll just go ahead and play the clip.
Revealed that Michael Jackson had this list, but he says that Michael Jackson was just paranoid, that Michael Jackson thought that these industry people were all colluding to try to ruin his life and to take over his life. And again, that was just Michael Jackson being crazy and being a raging anti-Semite. Well, Ian Carroll also investigates those claims as well. Take a listen.
And yes, Jackson did say that the Jews are, probably referring to the Jews in the music industry, are like leeches and that they took everything from them and that they did it on purpose. But when you look into those allegations or those insults, you realize that because of his will that was probably fake and filed right before his death. So the will was signed on July 7th in Los Angeles by 3 witnesses. But Jackson's family pointed out that he was in New York that day and there's video proving it. So they changed their story. But the witnesses definitely saw it and it was just in New York. So anyways, because of this will, John Branca was put in charge of his estate, which included his net worth of $230 million, but far more importantly, his 50% share of Sony ATV worth $750 million. Yes, he was taking on Sony. He was going after the hand that feeds him. And when you look into John Branca, in 2003, Jackson fired Branca because he was siphoning money out of Jackson's accounts in collusion with Sony Music CEO Tommy Mottola and funneling it through a bunch of offshore accounts in the Caribbean. John Branca is Jewish, and Tommy Mottola is also Jewish.
So
Wow.
What would that matter, right? So if you are talking about a celebrity who is getting screwed over financially, what would it matter if they're Jewish? Why would you specifically on your podcast point that out that, oh, wow, look at these people that happen to be Jewish. Look at this lawyer who is also a Jew. I mean, it is exactly what racists do whenever they want to pull up some crime statistics against black people. They don't just talk about the crime. They talk about who specifically is doing the crime. And oftentimes they'll go, oh, it's black people. Look at this criminal who just also happens to be black. Look at this guy who robbed the local subway. Guess what? He's black. And they drill the fact in about their identity. They do it on purpose.
Did you guys know that? Did you guys know any of that? Because I certainly did, and I didn't realize that this was a conflict at the end of Michael Jackson's life, that suddenly they were alleging that he signed a new will and handed everything over to the very people that he was fighting, the very people that he was saying were colluding to take things from him, ended up, in the end, taking things from him, despite their remarkable mistake saying that he signed this new will in a place that he simply wasn't at. So yes, Michael Jackson's estate was transferred over to specific individuals who happened to be Jewish.
Oh, they just happen to be Jewish. See, this is exactly what I was talking about. Oh, this is a weird frame. But exactly what I was talking about where, oh, they just happen to be Jewish. Okay, so let's continue because it does get worse.
What do we make of all of this? What do we make of all this? What do you think about all of this? Well, I'm going to be honest with you that
okay, go ahead, be honest.
These claims keep coming up too often
in
they Hollywood
do.
for me to be comfortable with it.
Oh, really?
Right? We saw this, obviously, it's not just now the Diddy lawsuit. It's not just now Michael Jackson. We also have seen these claims with Kanye West, notoriously, obviously, when he tweeted out, I'm about to go DEFCON 3 on some Jews, and the media freaked out. And
he also said that he loved Hitler. Yes, he did say he was going to go DEFCON on the Jews, which, yeah, the media is going to freak out when one of the biggest names in music is going on a anti-Semitic rampage. And he was so anti-Semitic, I remember making this video. He shocked Alex Jones. When you're so anti-Semitic, you shock Alex Jones, you know you're off the deep end. And Candice Owens defended him.
People in the Jewish community were understandably very scared, not knowing what he meant. And I very much abstained from speaking much about the issue because people were so emotional that people couldn't hear even if I had shared, and even when Kanye did share that he was speaking about specific people in Hollywood that he
Okay, that makes it better.
believed.
And like I said, he went on to say he loved Hitler, like multiple times. So like very clearly, he said he loved Hitler, hung out with Nick Fuentes, who's also a white supremacist neo-Nazi. And like there's really no defending Kanye West. Okay, he did a lot of anti-Semitic shit.
Coming after him and were trying to control him. He actually named some of those individuals. He shared personal text messages of a friend of his, a personal trainer to the stars, number one.
Let's skip a little bit.
And here's what else I will tell you. When that Kanye situation went down, I was being threatened.
Let's skip a little bit more. Let's skip a little bit.
Named Rabbi Shmuel. Happening is that just like within all communities, there are gangs, right? Gangs can form. We understand this. In the Black community, we've got the Bloods and we've got the Crips. Well, imagine if the Bloods and the Crips were doing horrific.
Oh, and also in the Bloods and Crips, you can be white. You don't have to be black to join the Bloods or the Crips. And this is completely irrelevant to what she's talking about, because this isn't some like gang in terms of functionality. She's just calling out people, in her own words, who just happen to be Jewish.
Things, murdering people, controlling people with blackmail. And then every time a person spoke out about it, the Bloods and the Crips would call those people racist, would get the media to say those people were racist. Any person that was talking about a specific gang, a small group of people.
And right here, she's trying to defend her anti-Semitism.
People would say, oh my God, no. That's like slavery. You can't at all say anything bad about the Bloods and the Crips. And the entire Black
Not a good defense, Candy.
Was scared and thought, oh my God, like, is slavery actually coming back? It would be emotional manipulation, because of course we would know that despite the fact that the Bloods and the Crips are Black, that the majority of Black people do not support the crimes that they have committed, the crimes that they continue to commit. It's a gang. But what if that is what is happening right now in Hollywood, if there is just a very small ring of people who are using the fact that they are Jewish to shield themselves from any criticism? It's food for thought, right?
No,
and
it's not.
Again, there have been enough people that are speaking out about a ring in Hollywood, also a ring potentially in DC, that we should start to ask those questions, all of us.
Yeah, so we should start asking the questions about a Jewish cabal that just happens, okay, they just happen to be Jewish, but, what if these small Jewish minorities, this Jewish cabal, just happens to run one of the two largest institutions in America and one of the most powerful institutions in America, Hollywood and DC. Well, I don't know, guys. Maybe we should think about it. Oh, come on. Give me a break, Candy. Give me a break.
Black, Spanish, Jewish.
So if you're not convinced that she's just a raging anti-Semite at this point, I got like one more to show you. Let's look at over here, because these are Candace Owens likes. So some guy it says February 20th, Rabbi. He's talking about Rabbi Shmuley. Are you drunk on Christian blood again? And Candace Owens liked this TweetX or whatever you want to call it. And it's still up here too, by the way. She still has it on her likes list. And that's not all. It gets worse. So here is Candace Owens likes again by another guy who is saying, you and your dad need to stop talking about Rabbi Shmuley again. Seriously, you're making it too easy for people to hate Jews. And this is right above the blood libel comment that Candace Owens liked. So this is just Candace Owens, everybody. And I would say this is part of the reason why she got canned. So a rabid anti-Semite from, I don't know why I keep saying rabid, but a rabid anti-Semite, Candace Owens, just going on a tear. Now she is away from the Daily Wire. Not sure what she'll do next, but she'll probably only get worse, because there's only one direction she can go, because all the anti-Semites are behind her now, and they love Candy right now.